Hello summoners and welcome to MainDeck Masters. Today we're going to be showing you why Nemesis is actually a yellow card. This deck is ridiculous, it's so much fun, and the combo potential is through the roof. This list is based off of a 9th place list from one of the European Go's. I don't exactly remember which Go it was, but I built this deck based on that list. It does have a few minor tweaks to it, which I will show, and it doesn't have depths because depths is now banned. So I am going up against David playing green-white Loki Tokens. Deck lists for both decks will be in the description. This is going to be a long game, so have a seat and enjoy the ride. So I'm going to go first playing the Genji and then a Blessed Cathedral, a very good start. That's the kind of start you want to see as yellow, of course. David, he's going to go ahead and play his Ant-Man General and get himself an Ant token. Flygon is the Ant token. He's going to pass on over to me, not going to worry about attacking because both spheres would be destroyed and I would ramp a core. My hand isn't the greatest, so I just go ahead, slam that Arcana Joker down and get that unblockable damage. David does burst a Star Blast draw, but you know, sometimes you got to deal with the Star Blast draw. He's going to set another burst card. And he's coring up his Ant-Man. He's just going to pass. He doesn't really have a great play right now, but he does have 2 spirits on board, and he's not too worried about it. On my turn, I'm just going to put 3 cores on my Blessed Cathedral, swing with my Arcana Joker again. It is now 3k. It will trade with the Ant-Man General. And David is blocking with that Ant-Man General. I will ramp a core and draw a card, put that Arcana Joker in the trash, and pass on over to David. Genji cannot attack. And then the best green card in the format, we've got Worker Ant-Man coming down for Dave. 4k for 2 cores, and it's going to ramp him a core. So I'm ramping, he's ramping. I'm just going to take the damage, go down to 4. He's going to pass on over, keep that Flygon token up as a blocker. A 1k blocker. And I'm going to play another Blessed Cathedral. We got double blessed out early, set a card in the burst zone, so we are going to be ramping like crazy in this game. Unless he Burning Forces one of my Cathedrals. But instead, he's going to play the Thunder God Mech Donar, put 3 cores on it, and he's going to start drawing himself some cards. Getting rid of that token, we do see the Burning Force in hand, so he can get rid of one of my Blessed Cathedrals if he wants to. But I'm going to block with the Genji, draw 2 and ramp 2, thanks to those Blessed Cathedrals and Genji being level 2. And he's going to attack with the Worker Ant-Man, and I do believe I have a response. I'm going to go ahead and flash out the Scope Owl. I'm not going to block with it, but flash out the Scope Owl, use those cores efficiently. David's going to pass on over to me. He's still at 4 life. He's not too worried about it. I'm going to play down another Sweets Elemental Gingerbloom. Just keep that draw going. This is a combo deck, so we have a lot of pieces that we need to assemble if we want to get our combo off, so we need to draw a lot. Pour up that other Blessed Cathedral, so we will be drawing a lot if we do guard with that Gingerbloom. David's just going to hard cast Ant Strike back. He wants those tokens on field so he can swing with that Donar and get more draw. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to swing with that Donar. We do see an Elephant and an Ice Shield get drawn from David, so he's definitely got some sustain. Gonna guard with that Genji, ramp 2, and draw 3 cards. We are just burning through this deck already. Gonna attack with Ant-Man, ramp himself a core, and I do believe I just let this one go through. Take myself down to 2 because I don't want to use that Scope Owl yet. Oh, I do guard with the Scope Owl. Oh yes, I guard with the Scope Owl and play the Angelic Pressure, so the Worker Ant-Man will die if he does not respond to it, and the Scope Owl will stay alive. Kind of a heads up play by me, pretty proud of that one, but you know, want to keep that Scope Owl alive. We do have the Tin Soldiers coming down. This card is bonkers, 3 cores, it's 5k as a 0 drop, kills itself at the end, so it does proc those Blessed Cathedrals. And then we do have another Arcana Joker coming out. David is going to burst that Star Blessed draw. He's going to be drawing himself a ton of cards. Paying the 4 so he can draw 2 more cards. We do see another Ant Strike back, a Suppression, another Burning Force. So David he definitely has answers. I do believe that was a Beam Rifle. Yep, a Beam Rifle that we see from David. exhausting the rest of my spirits, but it takes him down to 3. And since he is at the equal footing that I am, he cannot play Mammoth Aegis if he has it in hand and get the full value of healing himself 1 life. But he does play another Worker Ant-Man. He will be ramping some more. And another Worker Ant-Man. He's like, let me just get some bodies on board. I'm not too worried about ramping with all of them. It does require the Soul Core, but he's just going to get those bodies on board. And he's going to attack with the Flygon token. The Ant-Man token, the Carapace token, 1k. I'm just going to go, okay, I'm going to take this damage, and I am going to flip this Ice Shield. You will not get value from Donar. You will not get value from Worker Ant-Man. Though I do believe he expected that. He wanted me to use the Ice Shield so he can just guard with the Donar and draw off of that. I'm going to set a burst. It's going to be another Ice Shield. I was thinking about setting the Exhaust Nexus, but David does not have any Nexus down, so there's no real point in setting the Exhaust Nexus. We do have another 10 soldiers out. We are going to core up. We have plenty of cores. One of those, yes, we're going to core up everything. We've got some big beaters. Those 10 soldiers are 5k, and if Dave wants to guard, and he's either going to lose a spirit, either way he's going to lose a spirit if he guards. He's going to guard with his Worker Ant-Man with the Soul Core on it, probably so he can use suppression later. I am going to draw 2, ramp 2 off of that. He is going to burst Ant Strike back and get 2 more Ant tokens. Let's see what I end up doing. I'm thinking about what I want to attack with next. Do I want to attack with the other 10 soldiers or leave it up as a blocker? We do attack with the other 10 soldiers. And David declines flash, and we flash out the Exhaust Nexus. That is going to kill all of the tokens. So David will not get the value off of Donar from those Ant Strikes back. Exhaust Nexus, I've had it in my hand for quite a while. You see I have another one in my hand. So David is, I would say, not in a bind here. Look at his hand. But he did not get the value that he wanted to get, but he should have expected the Exhaust Nexus with how many cards I have drawn so far. What David decides to do, his Donar is a 2k currently. He's just going to take the damage. We are going to ramp 2 more and draw 2 more. Now, I haven't really given Dave an opportunity to play his Burning Force on my Cathedrals because I've been applying this pressure. So Dave is going to guard with the Donar. It is a 2k currently, but he's going to flash that suppression out, making it a 5k. It will destroy my Arcana Joker because Arcana Joker is only a 4k. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I will ramp 2 more. I will draw 2 more. Arcana Joker can go. There's 2 in the trash, but honestly, we can get them back with Impaler Forest if we are able to draw into it. And we're not too worried. We got David down to 2, but since he's at 2, he can play Mammoth Aegis, which I do believe he plays here. Yep, we got that SPR Mammoth Aegis right there on the top of his hand. So he's going to go back to 3, and I do believe he's going to draw a card. He might not draw a card because he has double burst Starblast draw. He does draw a card. I've been drawing quite a bit here. So he does draw a card. And that Mammoth Aegis is going to, put him back in. He's going to play out an Ant-Man General, get himself another token. And his Donar is level 2, so he will be able to draw off of that. So he is going to draw off of that Donar. He gets a Gunsmith Mine and another suppression. So David's hand is pretty stacked. My hand's pretty stacked too. I have another Exhaust Nexus, an Angelic Pressure, plenty of stuff that I can use to ensure I'm able to survive. So we are going to flash another Exhaust Nexus, paying 5. It's going to kill both of his Worker Ant-Mans, or it's going to kill his Worker Ant-Man and his Ant-Man General because they are both under that 3k threshold. And that Donar is now 2k, so it will trade with the Scope Owl, unless he flashes another suppression. Let's see what Dave decides to do. Is that Donar worth a suppression? And yes, to David, that Donar is worth a suppression. So Scope Owl dies, and it exhausts the Mammoth Aegis. So that's the end of Dave's turn, and we pass on over to me. We have lots of cores to work with, so let's see what I end up doing here. They're going to pay 3 and bring out a Beldegor. It's not going to do anything, but it's still a body on the board. And having that body on the board is important. We're going to pay 3 for that Impaler Forest. If David does not answer it, that Impaler Forest is going to get us out our Arcana Jokers. He knows there's 2 in the trash. And we are going to bring out a Rotting Swamp as well. That gives us lots of green reduction for our Nemesis, as well as allowing us to draw even more cards. And we are going to take the cores off of the Blessed Cathedral because we're drawing with Rotting Swamp, and we've already drawn quite a bit of our deck, and we don't want to overdraw and end up going into a deck out situation. So considering what we're doing here, I do believe we're going to core up the Nemesis to level 3 and go ahead. We do have the... No, we don't. We just put the Nemesis back to level 2, destroy that Mammoth Aegis. We do draw a card off of the Rotting Swamp, and David's just going to have to take the damage. That's it for my turn. I do believe the reason why I took the cores off of Nemesis is because I have a Scope Owl in my hand. I want to be able to bring that Scope Owl out. Let's see what David decides to do. He does play out Snowbit. Finally, we have a Snowbit coming down. He's like, what do I do here? And he's going to bring out the Newman Guard. It's going to cost 6, unfortunately, but he's got the Newman Guard out, and it's going to refresh all of his cores at the end of the turn. So he'll have his cores back. Though I do believe he's considering... Yeah, it looks like he is just going to Burning Force my Impaler Forest immediately. I do not get any value off of that Impaler Forest, but, you know, it is what it is. He's going to swing with the Donar, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, what can I do here? The most I can do is just really take the damage, but I do have a Dream Bomb in hand, and I think, yeah, I Dream Bomb that Newman Guard. Newman Guard goes back to David's hand, and I think that hurts him a bit because he no longer gets the refresh on his cores or anything, and he can't attack, so it saves me from having to use my Ice Shield. Gotta love the Dream Bomb. He didn't have Enterprise out. Dream Bomb the Elephant immediately. So we are considering what we're going to do. We have a Clavis in hand. We have another Blessed Cathedral coming down. That's 3 Blessed Cathedral. That's 3 Blessed Cathedral. Anytime a Yellow Spirit's destroyed, we're going to ramp 3 cores. We have so many cores already, we're going to get even more. I think one of my issues here is I have fewer spirits than I want, but we do have that Arcana Joker coming out, being unblockable. We are going to core up our Blessed Cathedrals because we are looking to draw some cards. I think at this point, the only thing I need is Raphael, and I'm just digging for that Raphael. I'm digging hard for that Raphael because in order to get off the main combo, we do need Raphael. But David does bring down that Enterprise. He's like, I probably should have done this last turn, so I'm going to do this turn. You Dream Bombed my Newman Guard last turn. That hurt, so we're pulling out the Enterprise. And the Trickster Machine God Loki is coming out. If it dies, it creates a token. So it's a 2-in-1 body, and it does create some pretty good on-hit pressure. We are going to go ahead and pull out that Spiral Tower. Such a good card for the deck. Its level 2 ability is what we're looking at. When one of my yellow spirits is destroyed during my turn, I can exhaust it and return that spirit to my hand. We're just going to attack with the Arcana Joker, saying, okay, are you going to kill the Arcana Joker? Are you going to take the damage? Are you going to lose your Snowbit? What's going on here? If you kill my Arcana Joker, I ramp 3, I draw 3, I add it back to my hand. And he's going to go to 1 off of this. And I pass. Why did I pass here? I probably should have attacked with the Nemesis. That's kind of... Unfortunately, I passed here. I probably should have just attacked with the Nemesis because I have the Ice Shield. I could have drawn a lot of cards off of that Arcana Joker and brought it back to my hand. Instead, I allowed David to go back to 2. Definitely a misplay on my end. I'm going to call that out when I see it. Definitely a misplay on my end, but I wanted to be safe. I think I just wanted to be safe here. He's going to attack with that Loki. My Nemesis is 10k, so the Nemesis will kill the Loki if I guard with it. But I'm just like, yeah, no, we're just going to flash this Ice Shield. It happened anyway. We flashed the Ice Shield anyway. Yeah, I definitely should have attacked with that Nemesis last turn. But I think it's a-okay still because we are in a great position. We have plenty of cards in hand. We have another Ice Shield that we can set down on the field. And we are just looking at what we're going to be doing. I think we do Clavis. Yep, we target the Nemesis and we get back 2 Exhaust Nexus. So I do believe we have 3 Exhaust Nexus in our hand at this point. So we're not really worried about anything. And we're attacking with the Clavis here. Clavis's level 2 ability, anything that blocks her immediately becomes level 1. So anything that blocks her is going to die at this point because his highest BP at level 1, I do believe, is like 6,000. And even with the suppression, it does not beat that 10k threshold. So David's like, wow, everything becomes level 1 when it blocks. So his Mammoth Aegis becomes level 1 and doesn't get its When Exhausted ability or anything like that. His Enterprise, if it blocks, becomes level 1 and loses that protection to the rest of his field. So he's like, yeah, I'm just going to flip this Ice Shield and hopefully find something better on my turn. I do believe he's digging for Derm Dyna, because if he has Derm Dyna, I have 5 Nexus on the field. If he has Derm Dyna, I better have an Ice Shield set, or I'm absolutely toast. So I do believe that's what he's looking for. He does get the Newman Guard out now, so he's got the Aegis, the Newman Guard, the Enterprise on field, he's got the Loki on field. He's set up. He's pretty well set up, so he's just going to start swinging. And that Loki is not level 3, which is important because the Loki does not have the on-hit damage pressure. He's like, I'm swinging with Loki. I'm like, okay, I'm going to guard with this Arcana Joker and draw 3 cards and bring out Beldegor. So we're going to ramp 3. We're going to draw 3. We're still digging for that Raphael. And I do believe we call out that Beldegor that's from drop. Yep, that Beldegor coming out from drop Immortal off of the Arcana Joker. And it's coming down. It's another blocker. And Dave's like, what do I do here? He's like, do I keep going? He does not have a burst set. So that can be a problem for him. He's like, do I keep attacking? I don't have the burst set, but he does have the elephant. But he's like, I don't know if attacking is still worth it because he knows I had 2 Exhaust Nexus that I pulled out. So having those 2 Exhaust Nexus probably stopped him from attacking because I could just wipe his whole field. Anyway, on my turn, we bring out the Dual Eagle. And like I said, we're looking for that Raphael, but we're not finding him. We do have so many answers in hand, but we're like, what do we do here? And we're just going to pull out another Dual Eagle. Like, yeah, we'll just bring these Dual Eagles out. And Nemesis is going to attack, destroying Clavis. So we do have some triggers here. So Nemesis is going to destroy Clavis. I'm going to draw 2 cards off Nemesis. Then I'm going to draw 1 off Rotting and 3 off of Blessed Cathedral. Then Spiral Tower will trigger and add Clavis back to hand. So we ramp 3, we draw 6 cards, and Clavis goes back to hand. All because we're trying to dig for Raphael. But we have so many cores that we can use at this point. I do believe I'd say, okay, we're just going to pop off. And Dave's like, all right, yeah, I'm going to guard with the Newman Guard. Although, another misplay on my end, I should not have let him guard with the Newman Guard, though I was going, do I go ahead and pop off now, or do I wait? So I let him defend, and then went, okay, we're just going to pop off. We have the cores. He has a pretty scary board, but he does not have a burst set, so I'm just going to pop off with these Exhaust Nexus. I have Clavis back in hand, so I can just play Clavis again and get all these Exhaust Nexus back into my hand. So there's really no point in not playing them. So we got Exhaust Nexus number 2 come down. And like I said, we have so many cores that we just play Exhaust Nexus number 3. That's going to kill almost everything. Everything's very low. His Enterprise is at 3k, his Elephant's at 1k, his Aegis is at 1k. Then I'm like, okay, we're going to Angelic Pressure the Enterprise. That's 12k worth of BP reduction, and the Enterprise dies, and now the armor is gone from his field. And I'm like, okay, well, then I don't really need these cores on my Blessed Cathedrals anymore. We're just going to Burning Force the rest of your field away. And yeah, we did it. We absolutely wiped his entire field. But David does get the draw 3 from the Newman Guard, and I do believe off this draw 3, he does find himself an Ice Shield. Yes, he does find himself an Ice Shield, and he's going to flash that Ice Shield out. He's going to stay at 2 life. Unfortunately, like I said, I should have put him back down. Should have not let him guard with the Newman Guard, but, you know, it is what it is. We're still in a dominating position at this point. David has no reduction from a Newman City or anything like that. I don't think through all of those draws he has not seen a single Newman City. He runs 3, I think. I think he runs 3 Newman City, which is unfortunate for him because with the Newman City it would reduce so much for his elephants and all that. But he is able to rebuild a board because we both ramped quite a few cores. So he's got his Gunsmith Mime, a Mecha Token, Donar, and another Loki. So he's pretty well set up again. And he's like, fine, I guess I'll just attack with this Donar and search for Derm. And just try to... There's finally he found a Newman City, but he still has not found Derm Dyna. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll just guard with Beldegor. He's like, okay, well, let's attack with Loki. And he is going to flash out Burning Force to kill one of my Dual Eagles. I will ramp 3 again, and I will draw 1 card. And then with those extra cores, we're just going to call Beldegor back out. Because Beldegor is a great card. And he's like, yeah, we're just gonna Dream Bomb the Beldegor, so you cannot continue to use Immortal and continuously, you know, block and re-summon Beldegor. So we're like, okay, fine, we're just gonna flash out Scope Owl. Scope Owl is going to die. We're going to exhaust your Gunsmith Mime and end your turn. And I'm like, all right, well, you know what's coming, Dave. We've got all these cores. We have Clavis back in hand. We have 3 Exhaust Nexus in the drop. So we are eventually going to be calling out this Clavis. Start with Beldegor on that Gunsmith Mime. Why not? We have the cores to play it. Why not just play it? And then we are going to pay the 5 for Clavis. I think I only paid 4, but honestly, I don't think it matters. But we have whatever. There's plenty of cores in the trash, so we paid enough for Clavis. It really, I don't think it matters. So Clavis comes back. David gave us the 3 Exhaust Nexus. Our final Arcana Joker comes down onto the board. And I'm just like, yep, let's bring out this Michaela now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yellow. And we've seen so many spells now that all we see is the Deadly Balance. But we do see Raphael. And Raphael, we put to the top of the stack. So if we want to be able to use Raphael, we got to draw through to it. But honestly, I don't think it really matters. Because we have this huge board. We know David has a Dream Bomb and not an Ice Shield. I think we've gone through all 5 of his Ice Shield, all 4 of his Ice Shields anyway. So he's like, yeah, bounce the Rotting Swamp. It doesn't really matter at this point. What are you going to kill me with? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to kill you with the Clavis. And he was like, yeah, where is my Derm Dyna? And I'm like, there's the Raphael. He's like, I've been searching for Derm Dyna. But I had an Ice Shield set. I had another one in my hand, so I don't think it really would have mattered too much. I had so much pressure out, and we did not get to see the Raphael combo. However, I'm going to be doing more recordings of this deck to get the Raphael combo out, so we can show you exactly how nutty that combo is. Either way, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to smash like, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. We really appreciate it. Every little bit helps out. Tell us what you think about this deck. It's a lot of fun. You should build it. You should definitely build it and play it. It's so much fun. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.